Hello and welcome to Simply Cooked by Maggie and Paul. Today I'm going to show you how to make scones, but these are actually extra special scones. Now the lovely Maggie was talking to someone the other day and he told her that his mum used to own a local bakery in the 50s and 60s, and he gave her his mum's original special scone recipe. So today I'm going to make our scones to that very recipe. Now I did try some of these earlier and there were more left, but they've all disappeared, so they must be really good. So I've only got these left. So let me have a little taste of one of these. Oh, it's nice and crumbly. I put jam and clotted cream in here and this tastes absolutely delicious. So let's get on and let's make some of these. Now scones are really easy to make. This one is extra easy, to be honest, and it's very nostalgic for me because, as I mentioned in the intro, a local shop in the 50s and 60s, this is the recipe that they used to use, and a friend of ours gave us his mum's recipe. So it's easy. Basically, all I'm going to do, I'm going to put the flour into my bowl. I'm going to add baking powder. Now this is what makes it rise. Put the baking powder in, and here's the caster sugar that's going to give it its taste. And basically I'm just going to give that a stir, get it all nicely stirred in. There you go. And then I'm going to add the butter. Now you cut your butter up into little bits like this, because what you've got to do, you've got to knead it in with your fingertips. And the idea being is you're going to mix all the butter and it'll end up like breadcrumbs when you've finished it. So there's the butter in there. So you get a little bit like this just on your tips of your fingers and you do this. And the idea is you're working it in with the tips of your fingers because you don't want to get the heat into the flour because it'll start rising. So that's the idea of it. That's why you're doing this. So it does take a minute or so. And there you go, that's all nicely mixed in. And can you see it? It's gone, it's not probably difficult to see on the camera, but it's a bit bread crumbly now. But all that butter has been mixed in there. Right, so I'm going to stick in the sultanas. I'm just going to stir those in. Now if you like sultanas, and I do, you can put yourself some more in. But I find this is about the right amount. Once you think you've got all those in, we're ready to make the pastry, if that's what you call it. Do you call it pastry? Do you call it dough? I don't know. So basically, we're going to add the milk. We're going to get our fingers in here in a minute. Now it'll look like it's not going to go, but you just have to be patient with it. Now I forgot, this was out of shot, by the way, a second ago, so this is just a beaten egg, one egg beaten. I'll put the egg in. And now it's time to get messy. And it's all over your fingers. It's really sticky because of the butter. And there we go. Now what we're going to do with this now, we've got to leave this for about half an hour. And you're leaving it so it'll just thicken up a little bit and it'll be a bit more malleable when we start to lay it out in a minute. Okay, so that's had half an hour, just enough time for me to tidy up and make myself a nice cup of tea. Cheers. And what we're going to do now is we're going to get some flour and just spread it out the worktop like that. Now, if it still feels a bit sticky, just add a bit of flour. Or alternatively, if it's a bit hard, just add a bit of milk or water. But basically, you're just working it in like this. You're not kneading it per se. You're just going to make sure it's all nice and mixed. And then what you want to do is make yourself a ball like this. Squash this out. You don't need a rolling pin, by the way. Squash it out like that. And you want this to be about, I'm going to use inches here because everybody understands them, even in the UK. It wants to be about 3/4 of an inch to an inch thick, which is about 20 to 25 millimeters. You don't want it to be too thick, but you don't want it to be too thin. I'm using, excuse me for going out of shot, I'm using one of these things. You like push it in, I'll show you how to use it. You don't actually need one of these. If you haven't got one, just break yourself a ball off, roll it into a ball and squash it flat. It'll do just as well. But we're going to go for this today. Push that in there, like that. Squiggle it round. And pull that out like that. What I did whilst we were just off camera, I got myself a grease-proof tray. I just drop it in like that. And for this last one, I thought I would have got 6 out of that. This is a little bit bigger than I thought it was. So for the last one, I'm not even going to bother putting it in there. I'll show you what I mean. You can just make them by hand like this. Okay. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pop the oven on. Let that warm up. What we need to do now is you want to glaze the top of them. So I've just got some milk in a jug and I'm just okay, so the oven's up to temperature. So we'll pop them in here for 15 minutes. Okay, so they've had the 15 minutes and wow, look at that. Let's get these out. Look at that. They look perfect. So we're just going to pop these down. And there we go, hot off the oven. Now they look absolutely perfect. And they smell like what a scone should smell like. Now I'm just going to, this is optional, but I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of icing sugar over the top of them. Just makes them look nicer. I can't find my small sieve, so I've had to use this big thing. But it's working okay. There you go. And look at that. And that is how you make a scone. But this is not an ordinary scone. This is a scone that I would have eaten when I was a little kiddie. and I just cannot wait to have a bite of one of these. Okay, so these have cooled down and the vultures have been at them already, I think. They're all hovering, waiting to eat them. So I've got myself one. I've put some clotted cream on. This is the second one I've had today. But I put some clotted cream and some strawberry jam on. That is actually fantastic. That is really delicious. That is a taste of the 50s and 60s. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.